Another thing I find I'm still on the September the 11th here, but one thing I find very inconsiderate of people as well is those who eat crisps in public, or even in private, to be honest. I'm not talking about kids or that. Kids enjoy a packet of crisps, we all did. But adults who eat crisps. And for some reason, children have actually got more manners and decorum when it comes to eating crisps than the adults do. If you've ever sat next to an adult eating crisps, it is a horrible, dreadful experience. It's frightening. I mean, can I just demonstrate this crisp? I don't even eat crisps that lot, but the reason I don't eat crisps is because I've also lost a lot of my decorum eating crisps. But if you're sitting next to somebody, say at the cinema, or on a bus, or even at the theatre, and they pull very strange faces when they're eating crisps. It's like they've lost their own placement in society. It's like they've become somebody else. It's almost like as soon as the crisps entered their mouth, they were kind of taken over by a third party of some sort. Because they become really peculiar. Their faces become peculiar. And most of my experiences of having somebody eating crisps next to me is from a side elevation, so to speak. But if you've ever had to sit opposite somebody eating crisps, that is obviously much worse. I mean, not only is it disgusting, but the stench of the crisp is actually worse than that Usain Bolt stuff that my friend was talking about that stinks to high heaven. Well, the crisps that most people eat stink worse than that. It's not that, they're contorted faces when they're eating. Like, and it's just the way their whole eyes screw up, and their chin seems to go way up in the air, and they're like a cement mixer. Their mouth's all like. And when they're eating it, it's like some of the people stick their tongue out as well, and then they're trying to clean their teeth with their tongue with the crisp still hanging off the tongue, and it's fucking disgusting. It's like it should be barred. It should be absolutely banned from public viewing. It's just horrible. I don't think it should be allowed in public transport. Crisps should be banned from public transport or even eaten anywhere in public. Do you know they have places for like smokers? You know, the what they call it, they regard smokers as some inferior part of the human race nowadays, and they send them away to smoking shelters away up in the mountains and stuff. Even though they work 20 miles away, they have to go way up into these areas of the moors to have a cigarette so nobody sees them, that kind of thing. In fact, that's what they should do with people who talk about football. There should be specially designated areas. In fact, that's another line, crisps, and anyone who eats crisps and talks about football should have special passes for a designated area away to fuck at the road. You know what I mean? Away up in no, let's not put them on the moors. I don't want to meet anyone talk about football when I'm out for an enjoyable day's hill walking. But they should have special kind of shelters like they have designed for smokers. In fact, bring the smokers back and then put people who eat crisps and talk about football in these shelters away at the fucking road. That's my idea of things. But eating the packets annoy me. You know, like you're sitting down at a cinema and or before the performance starts at the theatre, you know, somebody's like I think that just a way to get the first note, or it could be an orchestra's about to play on somebody. Yeah, smell of beef crisp going right along the right along the whole seating area. Oh, minging, terrible, horrible, shite. I used to go out with a girl, in fact, not Kate Crieff I was talking about, but obviously, you know, after sex, some girls have been like having a cigarette and all that sort of stuff. You know, some of them do other things. And that, you know, I'm not going into detail, but I did go out with a girl once that after sex she used to reach for a packet of crisps. And I think maybe that's what's caused this fucking problem with me about crisps and why I don't like really eating them. And for today I've just done eating crisps for demonstration purposes, but I don't really like crisps. And I think she put me off crisps. And I think watching people, especially in the work environment, during breaks, stuffing their face with these crisps and their faces, I can't get it out of my head. It's absolutely horrible. It must be the salt, or it must be something in the crisps that makes their face all go weird. But it's just, in fact, why don't you all have an experiment? Buy yourself a packet of crisps. I think what are crisps called in? I think crisps are quite in continent are called chips, aren't they? Excuse me. That's another thing crisps do. They make you fucking choke to death. But I think everyone should get a fucking hell. They do make you choke. Get a mirror and fucking hell, you get a drink of water here now. Oh fuck, maybe that's what it's about. So kind of get the Cola sales, you know, more cola sales, so they flog the crisps at a cheap price. Well, they're not actually cheap, they're quite expensive crisps, aren't they? But, you know, just so you can drink liquid with them. But the other thing I was going to say was, I mean, I'm not talking about, honestly, lots of people who have good manners with eating crisps, you know, just take the one and nibble on it, that's fine. All right, and as I said, kids and that, they eat crisps, but they're really sensible about how they eat crisps. They seem to have some sort of prior knowledge that if they stuff a whole of the crisps into their mouth all at once, that they might choke to death. But adults don't have that, and it's a really weird thing, isn't it? It's like, why did the children know that, yeah, I'll just take one crisp and I'll pop that in my mouth, eat that, but adults will take about 6 or 7 crisps and shove them all in at once. It's odd behaviour. But what I was going to say was everybody should, you know, sit in front of a mirror, get a packet of crisps, open them, and take a big pile out and stuff them in their mouth and actually watch themselves eating crisps in the mirror. And I can guarantee after that little show, they will never ever eat crisps in public again. They won't. And I think crisps, you know, quite seriously, I think they should be banned from public viewing. No member of society should be allowed to eat crisps in public unless it's maybe children or those who show special decorum, so they should get permits, you know. If they're at the theatre, how do you eat your crisps? Well, just one at a time. In fact, I'll probably half them. If it's a big crisp, but that size, I normally kind of half it or quarter it and then eat it. Okay, you can come in. There's your permit. How do you eat your like Watsits or something like that, or Quavers? I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm just thinking that they should slow the process down or make crisps smaller. Maybe that's an idea. Make the crisps a bit smaller. There's no point having these great big fucking things in the packet, because that's just asking for trouble, isn't it? Somebody's going to pick that big crisp and just try and ram it all in their mouth at once, cause lots of problems, and then when the cough and splutter, as they're bound to do, like I was, when they're going to spread crisps all over the coffee table and into people's cups of tea or whatever. Or if it's in a pub or something, it's going to be in other people's drinks. I've seen that happening lots of times, especially if somebody sneezes while they're eating crisps. It's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, is somebody with a full mouth of crisps sneezing across their own pint and scattering it all the shite out of their face onto every other glass in the bar. It's just horrible. So all these things kind of add up in your life and you start to get put off with things. So that's my issue about crisps.